Hi, I'm Nick. In today's video, I'll be taking a first look at Lunacycle's 48-volt smart charger for e-bikes. Although the package was sent priority 2-day mail, it took 8 days from the time I placed the order to receive it in California. 5 of those days was Luna Cycles holding on to it, and it didn't get to USPS until 5 days later. Looks like an instruction manual here. We're going to go over that, and the other paper was a shipping packaging, and underneath here is the advanced Luna charger. Let's go ahead and take a look at this, and also looks like underneath there is also an adapter for XT60. Looks like a maybe female to male charger adapter. It's very important to look over the instructions before you use it, so let's take a look at the instruction manual. Here's a few safety guidelines along with the operation manual overview. Here's a closer look at that. Here's some features information. Information on lithium battery charging curve is here. The most notable thing here is to make sure to plug the charger into the wall outlet before plugging it into the battery. And that maximum 100% voltage should be 54.6 volts. Section, there's a pretty cool chart that shows the percentage of battery compared to the voltage output. For the 48 volt battery, it looks like 54.6 volts is 100%. 80% is 51.4, so that's the number you may want to charge to if you want to prolong the battery life. And the low voltage cutout on some batteries might be around 41, 42 volts, so between, let's say, 12 to 20%, depending on what the program is on your battery control module. Or you could also program the battery cutoff, I believe, in the controller or on the computer display unit. If not there, then perhaps you have to use the programming cable. This smart charger should come with a toggle switch, 80, 90, 100% charge. However, even as I'm looking, this is kind of hard to see on this, so let's take a look at this later on the actual battery charger. This charger is also good for between 110 voltage to 220 voltage. However, you have to switch a toggle switch. Some more safety information is here under notices. Here's some information on initial use and best practices. Feel free to pause it if you like to read it all. Here's the lower part of that same page. And Lunacycles refers you to electricbike.com forum for more information on that website or their own Lunacycle YouTube channel. Information how to prolong the battery life cycle is right here. Here's further information on the battery cycle. This information here, just some FAQs. A little bit of information on storing the battery pack. It says stored around 40 to 50% charge. Ideally, they want you to store it between 40 degrees C or 40 degrees Celsius and 70 degrees Fahrenheit or 20 Celsius. The very back has some information on troubleshooting here. And some more information below for troubleshooting. And also there's information how to contact them. I did contact them a few times and then they initially stopped responding to me, but fortunately they're still able to ship my item. I initially wanted to buy the BBSHD kit for the bicycle from Luna, and they didn't have it in stock, so I asked them when they'll come in stock, and I think it's been out of stock since May or June of 2022, and initially they said they'll come in July, so I asked them again and they said no, not till the end of September. And the end of September, where it is now, and I'm not sure if it's in stock yet, so that's why I ended up purchasing my BBSHD from another seller. So it looks like the toggle switch is switched to the off position right now, and then the other switch right here shows the percentage of battery charge you want, 100, 90, 80. It looks like stock they put it on 100%, and this should be the current 1, 2 through 5 amps, and these are pretty solid clicks. And you can move this down to 80 if you like. And this is nice siding. It looks like some pretty good higher quality metal. Output quality control looks like it passed. I do like this blue color. It is pretty nice looking. And on the front here, it looks like there's a voltage, amps, AC input 110 to 220 with a toggle switch, DC output 54.6 volts between 1 and 5 amps. Make sure you check your battery to see the maximum current that you could charge it at, because if it's only 2 or 3 amps, you don't want to use 5 or you could damage your battery. So I'll go ahead and measure these cords now. On second thought, let's weigh it first. So here's an approximate weight of this. I know it's not going to make too much of a, shouldn't make a difference if you're using it for a e-bike, because you should be possibly leaving the charger at home. Looks like 1,208 grams approximately. There's also these wire ties here. And in comparison, I have the stock charger here, which is only 302 grams. So comparing the two chargers, this smart charger is a lot bigger than the stock charger here. The stock charger is output 54.6 volts, I believe, at 2.2 amp maximum, or typically a 2 amp output. And even the thickness, you can see it's quite a bit thicker and bigger. To ride your e-bike to work, since this is so much smaller and more easier to transport, might be wise just to take the stock charger and maybe leave this one at home. Alright, so let's take a look at the dimensions here. The length here is approximately 8 inches. However, the knobs stick out a little wider. So from here to, let's say, where you could bend it, in case you're mounting it on a wall, you want to plan for about 9.5 inches. Again, this is 20 centimeters, 8 inches. The height here is 3.5 inches, or approximately 9 centimeters. And then the width here is approximately 2.5 inches, or 5.5 centimeters. This cable from the end here to the end here is 56 inches, or about 142 centimeters long. This side from the end here to here is 54 inches, or approximately 137 centimeters. So although the charger has an output of a male XT60 and the battery has a X outgoing voltage of a female XT60, they do fit. You could plug them in. However, I've heard from other sources that it's not wise to charge from the output cable, and you want to use the input cable. So if that's the case, you're going to have to acquire an adapter. So I purchased this XT60 female to XLR male adapter, and I got it from Electro Bike World, and they actually shipped it very quickly, and I received it in only a few days from Texas. So here's a look at the adapter I received. This is a XLR male plug, and the other end is a female XT60 plug here. Here's the XT60 female plug. So I'm going to go ahead and plug it in right here. And it looks like it fits very snug and firmly. And then this end you could plug into your battery. However, as the instructions said, you need to plug the charger into the wall outlet first. So right now, switch to the off position. I'm just going to put at 80%. I guess we could start at 5 amps and then drop down and see where it goes from there. And again, for your battery, make sure you look at your manual here and read about the charge socket. And it says never more than 5 amps. So if I do 5 amps for a little bit, it should be okay. I want to line these 3 pins up with pins over here. Make sure you push that in firmly, and let's go see what happens. Turning it on here, and oh, there's quite a bit of fan noise. Looks like 50.9 volts, 5 amps coming out. I'm going to see if I could switch. Now it's dropped to 4 amps, 50.7 volts. Let's switch it down to 3 amps, 50.5 volts, 2 amps, and let's try the 1 amp. And I'll put the mic up so you can kind of get an idea of how noisy this is. So next to it, this, I don't know how accurate this is, but let me be quiet for a second. I think it's around 64 decibels. Back to the chart here, it should stop at 51.4 volts. So while it's charging here, there's a red light here showing that it's in charging mode. And I can feel a little bit of air coming out of here from some fans, and it doesn't feel like it's too hot. Only using it at 1 amp. So let's see, the thermometer still says it's 68 degrees here, 70, and on the right side of the fan, 66 Fahrenheit, which is about room temperature right now. And to shut it down is pretty easy. There's just the toggle switch over here on the top here. You can probably flick the toggle switch to off position. And there we go. And then unplug the battery, because you want to unplug the battery before you unplug the wall outlet, and then go ahead and unplug this side from the wall. Comparison, here's the stock charger. I went ahead, plugged it into the outlet, electrical socket outlet first, and then go ahead and line this up here to go ahead and plug it in. And then this light turns red, and you could hear a little bit of a fan going here. I don't think it's as loud as the Luna cycle charger. So it's about 57, 58 decibels, a little softer. This one does not have an on-off switch, so I'm just going to go ahead and unplug it here. And you notice the light went from red to green. After the Luna charger reaches the ideal setting, or the setting, I set it at 90%, and it automatically shut off the fan, and now it's hovering where it says 52.6 volts and 0 amps because it stopped charging. As you can tell, it's turned on and still plugged into the battery here, and it does have electrical power to the wall outlet because the LCD is displaying. Well, from my initial impressions, it does seem like this Luna Cycle 48 volt smart charger is something that everyone with an e-bike should consider purchasing. And if you did enjoy this video, feel free to give it a thumbs up, and feel free to subscribe also. It's absolutely free. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video. Thanks.